Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I am up bright and early this morning and I just wanted to come live and have some fun playing. I haven't been in this beautiful space for a while and I wanted to bring back a few of the conversations that actually were being requested to come back. So thank you for being here. If you're joining me, please say hello. We're going to have some fun today. And I wanted to just take a little bit of time to talk about the energy of today, how that might play into your world today, what questions you may have, even if you're not even aware of what the energy it has, but how it is playing in your thoughts, your feelings, your actions today. And then pull some cards for you around what actions and results can benefit you most. I'm going to be using a playing deck of cards. And what I love most about the playing deck is that they're precise. They're a beautiful system that's very much in the moment, that very clear and not full of doesn't have room for a lot of speculation. Like we have oracle and tarot cards where we're learning a lesson or a wisdom through them, and these cards are very direct with the yes or no. They're going to point you to your highest next action, your thinking, your feeling state, bringing you back to you, and then allowing you to decide to implement the information, the higher awareness, the empowerment, all of the things. This whole system is designed for growth. And it's one of the beautiful parts about it that I love most is like these cards point you with the information, and then the intuition brings in the depth, which is really fun for me to play as well. They're a very direct way to put the power back in your hands, and that is where we are with this. So as we dive into today's energy, we've got a contract energy that's very much in the energy of decision, very much in the energy of being nudged to choose again. So where in your life are you being nudged to choose again? So it can be as simple as feeling into that and really wanting to know like what's top of mind for you today. What is the question on your mind? Where would you like some more insight? You're either choosing more of something or something different. There's a new sense of self emerging. You're being invited into fulfilling those intentions, desires, and dreams that are living within you. That body of wisdom wants to birth forth. Hi, everybody. And that it's going to be doing that through the unconscious and conscious thought. So, really bringing to your awareness what may not have been before and really claiming the intention. So, we're less in the inner tension and bringing into our body the intention of what we're wanting to experience more. And sometimes the confusion and the overwhelm and the overthinking are the things that really signal us that we're right on the edge of really being able to identify what's next. In our humanness, we'll spin in that thinking we want to avoid going in and really addressing what's going on. So, if you'd like cards, I love your permission. Please say yes. Please say you would love some in the chat below. Rosalie, I see you here. Good morning. Sandy, I see you. Sandy, you'd like a card on your career, please. I'm at a very hectic job, which makes me very tired. Do you see me finding something much better very soon? Well, let's just dive into, feeling into your energy and what may be in your own inner awareness that maybe you haven't been tapping into. So I love that so much. So on career, let's see, we're getting an action and a result, your best and highest action. And if you were to take that action and how it feels best for you, the result, the potential results and outcomes. Beautiful. So leading yourself with love, the king invites us to lead our life, to lead our story, to rewrite our story, to love the heck out of our story. So when I look at that in terms of an action step for your career, do you love your career right now? Are you loving where it's taking you? Is there something you want more of? Is there something you want to land into? Can you fully love the idea of yourself in that position, in the career, in the change, in whatever that is that's coming up? Specificity is really helpful with these, but in lieu of loving it and leading your life through the decision that comes from you loving you and you loving you and the vision of what you're leading yourself to, then a change may occur, which lands you into even more love of what's here. So the 9 comes in as like a completion of cycle. So as a result, it can be, so then the ending comes to what you've been doing and landing you into what's next for you. Not an ending that's dramatic, but like a graduation energy. So to me, this is telling you, lead yourself with what you love, trust yourself in that love of the decision, bring the spinning of the decision into the body and listen to your heart to where letting it lead you in that resonance. And when you do, you'll come to completion in what was, letting go of all the shoulds, need tos, and have tos, and really landing into what's next for you in the energy of graduation, in the energy of that next highest and best experience of living your life or your career in this case through love. So let me know how that lands for you. That sounds really good. The hearts being in the red color are all external. So whatever's happening externally for you in your career is an opportunity to lead your life with love. Fall in love with what's happening, or fall in love with the decision at hand that leads you into something more, to choosing again. So we mix those layers of energies into the conversation and let it land for you, how it lands in your body. I'd love to know how that resonates and what that brings to light in your situation. We're bringing the power back within you to choose again, to choose to go, oh, that was really what I was feeling. And can you let yourself love it and feel into the energy of loving it more and who you'll become in that next version? So let me know if you're here and what cards. Rosalie, would you like a reading this morning? We're really landing into making sure we're not being led by illusion, but by truth. So sometimes discovering the truth of what we really want isn't up in our head, it's in our body, and our body will let us know. And when we can tune into the energy of our heart and what we're really loving, the resonance from that, we can sometimes shut the noise down by inviting the mind into the heart to hang out and work together. You're very frustrated right now. Yeah, so let's shift that frustration, right? So we feel into the energy of frustration. We're honoring that you're frustrated, and that energetic expression is real. Like you're sitting here going, I'm just feeling frustrated. But as you're thinking about what you're wanting in your career, let yourself paint that picture. Let yourself really land into this blank slate, this white slate. And if you were to create the movie of your life, create the ideal picture of your career, what would that begin to look like? So we can move that frustration into some of the creation of what we're wanting next. And then, Sandy, how would that feel when you're in that perfect vision, that ideal vision of your career? When you get up and go to work and you're excited, like what are some of the emotional states behind that? And are you willing to honor the frustration and welcome it in without running or distracting from it, and really sit with it, asking it what it wants you to know about this change that's here, this decision? And can you land into a new feeling state of choosing to feel something different? Instead of choosing the frustration over and over again and keeping the loop going, we interrupt the loop and use that frustration to empower us into something else that we want to feel. So do you want to feel excited and creative and welcoming, allowing yourself to paint that vision and not stay stuck in the loop? So I'd love to know how that lands. Good. All right. Letting space and time for anyone else who wants to have a reading this morning. Hi, Lori. Good morning. Yes, please. Today is very much a decision energy, Lori. Being nudged to choose again. And then what I love about numerology, this is a numerology system. This is an Egyptian astronumerological system. I know it's been forever. I love you so much. Thank you for stopping by. We will definitely get cards. This system really invites us to open ourselves up to the truth of what is right now, not the past. Like it's a tool to help us rewrite the story. It's a tool to help us see ourselves more clearly, to really honor the empowering and growing and evolution side of life that leads us into a thriving life, right? It doesn't tell us what to do, what to eat, what to choose. It lands us into the truth of what's on our heart. So I love that so much. So I'm going to pull cards, action and result today, Lori. Do you have anything top of mind? Any decision pending? Any kind of, I was going to say frustration acting, but it doesn't have to be frustration. Is there anything top of mind for you? I feel like the moons have everything shaken up for a change, trying to trust my intuition. See, I love that so much. So the two itself, when we look at the two energy of today, it's really wanting us to connect. to ourselves, to others, to our dream, really wanting us to decide. The body's begging for a decision as the mind's ruminating and all the thoughts, right? And then really look around. Did we skip a resource that's around us right now? Are we so blindsided that we can't see what's here already for us? And then that piece of our intuition really wanting us to land into trusting ourselves, to really listen. We do that by bringing our mind into the body. A little frustrated. There's been a lot of frustration, energy, and chaos happening right now, along with Mercury retrograde, which lasts until Friday. So just being with the flow of where you're being pointed, what direction is, and when we're swimming upstream, and when we can just pull back and be in the flow and the truth of what actually wants to reveal itself, which is so good. And then we've got this get stuff done action today. Collectively, our Wednesdays are like being in action, not doing all the things, but making space for what's next. And then not just hearing the words and saying that's nice, but what is the next action that lands us into the decision and the implementation. So we've got all this happening, and frustration and worry and anxiety will show up when we are not listening to the body, or we are not choosing creativity. So it's sounds in the mind it's cut and dry, but it's a feeling state, and you know when you're in it, right? So what can you do to pull back and to really tune in more to you? And where are you feeling you're living everyone else's should, needs, tos, and have tos? And really coming back into taking another look at your schedule, look at what's going on today, which one aligns, where can you make an adjustment, right? You've been cleaning out things you no longer use and organizing like a crazy woman. It's so good. Yeah. So the internal world is wanting to have a match in the outer world, or the outer world is wanting to match internally. So it's such a good sign. Matters being rearranged. You've been making decisions. You're not really wanting to stay with old things as you're birthing into new things. So the cards I pulled were the five of hearts. A higher sense of self is emerging, right? And what is that sense of self leading you to? Is it in the change? Can we love the change that's for us? Can we love the play, the adventure, and the excitement that comes from landing into the unknown, but really following our heart that yes, change must happen either in our physical environment or internally? This is a red card. So this is reflecting that physical change in your environment, right? In the outer environment. So falling in love with what is. So when we're frustrated, we're not in a love cycle, and it doesn't have to all be kumbaya love, but frustration, anger, fear, worry, they all kind of go together. So the simplicity of the conversation in the matrix of the mind is love versus fear. Are we back in an old pattern where we have to fear and feel like we have to scramble and we have to do all the things, or is it a reflection of change because we've been loving what we're creating? All perspectives are available. Which one will we choose? And as a result, when we can honor that change and really fall in love with what's being created in its place, and that new sense of self emerging, we've got this more. The 10 invites more, this result of birthing or rebirth of deeper expression, right? Whether it's in your career or in your own physical expression, your future your your internal expression, your personality expression. There's the communication and all of the things, right? What's top of mind for you? How are you thinking about this new sense of self? Are you welcoming it? Are you looking at how far you've come? Are you seeing the journey for what was? Because every time that you do and you allow yourself to see the shifts, you allow yourself to land into the transformation that has occurred, we can celebrate it. We can celebrate the wins. We can look at all the small steps it took to get here, and we can welcome in more. So when we really let this change emerge into loving what is within ourselves, loving what is within our own environment, within the outer world, we can create this inner fulfillment. The 10 wants to feel the satisfaction and the fulfillment, and it really wants that to be internally expressed. So the black card meaning internal, internally expressed through career, through your life, through your lifestyle, through you, through your communication, through all the things that want to birth forth, knowing that you are where you are now because of the journey, not in lieu of it, not at the whim of it. And then you come right back to choice. And today, in this energy of choosing, this beautiful energy of, are you being led by illusion or truth, landing into the truth of what is by knowing how far you've come, and then choosing once again to love even more what's being created and let it be playful and adventurous. So let me know how that lands for you. That feels really good. so curious to know what else is happening in your world. Oh my gosh, please message me later. It'd be lovely to connect. So you, all the environments, right? No fears and excited for all that's meant to come. So allowing all the else to fall away as the change is occurring, so you can let yourself express more of the wisdom from those changes, from letting yourself emerge into this higher self, right? So you feel strong. Yeah, good. Hi, Kim. Welcome. Yes, you know what's so funny? Like I'm live and I'm not live, but I haven't been here in so long. And I really felt the need to just want to come and show up and be in the space. And so today had that playful energy and I thought it'd be nice to do some cards. So welcome. Kim, would you love cards? What's top of mind for you? Would you love insight to a question that's been maybe ruminating or something that in your world that's been top of mind? I feel like that one kind of sums it up for everybody. Where do you feel like you're being led by illusion or truth? Where is the confusion or the frustration, the worry, the anxiety? Where can we shift it, help you shift it today to taking these actions, right? So we have one action card, one result card as a possible result when you, I'm going to say, heed the action, because this is such a beautiful direct system. And the more specific we can get in our curiosity, the more specific the answer. So good. I love that. There's been a lot of that. I have a closet that's just like, not screaming. She's being very lovely, but she's like, please empty me and rearrange and start over. So I can feel that energy. I've been doing that in segments of my house as well. And I think it's really been so much of the moon energy, so much of what's transpiring as we land into this fall harvest, right? We're blossoming from the harvest of what we've created in our intentions. And then also being intentional in what else we're calling in and creating energetically, emotionally, being willing to collapse old patterns and land into something new. Just so beautiful. Closet and all your shoes. Like, what size shoes are you? And send me pictures. That's fun. All right. Anyone else here who would like cards, who might be just watching and not knowing that you can have your own personal card pool? Please say hello. If anyone who's been here has more questions or wants to take that even deeper, we can do that as well. I love that. Yeah, closets are always a big sign. They start bursting out of the seams. We hold on to things we think we're going to need again, or maybe we're going to fit into again. This would be my story. And I have that decision to make, right? So the energy of decision. Am I going to live in the past with what was, or embrace what is right now, knowing that I can have what I want, that I can have it all, that my body will change, that I can embrace where I'm at, that I can just love myself more for being where I am, and let this higher sense of self emerge. Let this be so much more fruitful and fulfilling from a place of my higher self, my higher wisdom, the bigger picture, the higher perspective, and not just the blindsided, like, oh, I'm getting older. I used to weigh this much. My closet reflects this. I'm scared to let go. If I let go, that means XYZ. Like, we have these places in all of our physical environments where maybe it's just time to let the old be moved on, refurbished, become someone else's treasure, right? In the physical space. Hi, Carrie Brown. Would you like cards? Please, you would. Okay, so what's top of mind for you today? Curiosity, what would you like to know or have some insight more about? We're looking at the energy of decision today. Where can we be landing more into our truth? What decision is for us in any area of our life, career, health, relationships? And like, this energy's nudging us to choose again. So what's top of mind when we think of that? Like, what would you love more insight on? I love that. 9.5. All right, Lori. Awesome. Okay. Carrie, I feel like you're writing, but I'm going to go ahead and pull cards and we'll see what pops in as you're writing. Thanks for being here. Anyone else want cards? Just say hi in the comments. Just let me know. Beautiful. Something is churning in your stomach. Perfect. So let's just feel into that. Good morning, Sharon. If you want a reading, let me know. Let's feel into the body, because the body holds the truth. I feel like the body holds the truth. And yet we feel like the body's being a pain in the butt, or there's a problem, or there's a pain, and oh my gosh, and all the things. And so just for today, just landing into feeling into your tummy, maybe even putting a hand on your heart, a hand on your stomach, and welcoming in the churning and just letting it be there like it's not a problem. and letting it land you into whatever decision is for, whatever the energetic movement of decision is, whatever might be ruminating in the mind. Hi, Danielle. Thanks for being here. You don't have to know. So just tuning into what it is. What I got on the cards is the two coming in with love. So this is a moment to love that stomach just a little bit more. This could be externally, the actual body. This could be a decision that's coming that maybe you're facing. And in this moment, my request to you is going to be just feeling your hand on your belly and just feeling what's going on in there and knowing that it's okay. It might feel like fear, it might feel like it's scary, but knowing that your body is a messenger of love. It only has loving messages for you. And getting curious what might be happening in your stomach, what might be happening. And we do that by welcoming the feeling to be here, not running from it or not distracting ourselves, and really just being okay with not knowing, just being open and curious. The two, when we look at the two is inviting us into a conversation of, are we operating from love or fear? There's no wrong in it. There's no right or wrong. There's just curiosity and observing. And so this message from your tummy, this churning, wants you to know something. And so if you can just simply ask it, I know it seems weird and strange, but if you just ask your stomach, knowing that it loves you, what is the message that it has for you and what would it like you to pay attention to? You can really land into more of the higher wisdom that's here for you to discover. So the spades are higher wisdom and purpose, really the higher meaning, or maybe the higher self really wanting to connect with you inside and lead you to discovery to help bring you more ease. So the king wants to lead. So this tells me if we're landing into more love, see, love of ourself, love of the body, love of what is, then we can literally land into higher meaning by being with it instead of running from it. So just being curious, whatever pops in mind now, whatever connection or dots that start to connect from allowing yourself to be in that space, you don't have to share, but maybe just allowing yourself to journal on that today, or just loving your body just a little bit more, just loving what is just a little bit more and pouring in, like physically feel like you're pouring in more love to coat that tummy, to really let it be while you're with it and let that truth reveal itself, which is so good. Thanks, Carrie. I love how the cards align with that too. Danielle, would you like cards? Sharon Durant, would you like cards? Let me know. I'm going to be here just a little bit longer, but I'd love to pull for whoever wants some. So good. For those coming in a little bit later, I started the conversation with talking about the contract energy of today, and we don't have to know it. Hi, Misa. Absolutely. Let me know what's top of mind, Misa. So we don't have to know the energy of today or be like writing down all the things to just feel what's going on in our world, right? What decisions have we been putting aside? Even if it's like clean out a closet, like we were talking about, or straighten up some of the chaos, or take better care of ourselves. There's all these things, these curiosities, these things in our mind we said we're going to decide on. And there's these things in our mind that we think we've made the decision on, but we actually haven't taken action on. Today is really inviting you into the action. So that's why I'm pulling action and result cards. So let me see where we go. Sharon has said, I'm curious what will be pivotal in breaking through the fear barrier that's keeping me stuck at the moment. I know that. I know that feeling of really being in that and really wondering, will I ever get out of this fear cycle? Will I ever get unstuck? And so this conversation starts to begin in a theme, right? And we begin to allow ourselves to love even more what is present. So when we can get to where we can be curious in loving the stuckness because we know that there's a decision to drop into the body and a truth that wants to be revealed, then we can get more curious about what that actually is. And being okay with that it is right now, right? That it is, all is as is. So for you, Sharon, a lot of kings coming in, really leading yourself in this physical environment. Diamonds are finances, body, physical environment, family, all the things in the physical. Diamonds like to be the things, right? So when we're leading and we're taking the responsibility to lead ourselves through the physical, whatever the fear barrier is that might be there, it's about something in the physical. So when we can just pull back for a moment and take an action of, I'm choosing to lead myself through this, be it committing to a decision or realizing where I've been thinking I've been in a decision, but I haven't been taking action, I really feel like this is asking you to assess that. And then what is the one action that you can take today to land yourself into loving it more, not fearing it? So when we honor in the stuckness and we're leading ourselves in the physical, what is the one thing that wants to move that can get us out of this fixed mindset and into a growth mindset? So this card is back to mind. When you take the physical action, then the mind has the ability to see a higher perspective. The mind has the ability to be infinite in its potentiality and its possibility. And so letting go of where, as a result, right? If this was an action, I'd be saying, you have a fixed mind or pattern around this, but it's a result. So it's letting you land into the growth of what occurs from this physical space. So again, the specificity really helps. But in general terms, whatever you're wanting to break through that feels like a fear barrier has something to do with what you want in the physical. When you can lead yourself by deciding to take one action, your very one next best step. I'm going to say this for you specifically, dropping your head into your heart with your hand on heart, letting them work together in the energy of what you're wanting to create in the physical, and then take that one next step. Today's the day you take the action, not think about taking the action. Not maybe tomorrow I'll take the action. Today's the action. And when you do, you'll see what you couldn't have seen before. You'll see the potential and possibility, because your mind can't possibly decide what's for you when you haven't lived through it. You haven't actually gone through the physical steps, right? But it tries to pre-decide and therefore keeps us from taking the decision or making the decision or taking the action. So let me know how you like that, how that feels. Hello, Stephanie, of course. Misa, what's top of mind is putting yourself first. So what's fun is Misa joined me in Channeling Numbers, a group that I am in. That's a free group. If you love numerology and all things numbers, please join us there on Facebook. I did some readings yesterday, and I feel like this is further insight from what was coming through yesterday, which you'll know, which is so good. You guys have your coffee, your morning beverage, your afternoon tea. Where are you in the world? It's morning here. I had an early call at 5:30 this morning. It was amazing. And so I thought I'd come play, and then I'm going to the gym because that's how I'm going to start my days on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right. If you have time, you love cards. Tell me what's top of mind, Steph. Decision today. You know the cards of the day. I don't need to tell you what they are. Are you being led by illusion or truth? Start there. And where's your curiosity, Steph? And then Misa, let's talk about that. When you're putting yourself first, top of mind is, I want to decide to put myself first. Where are you leading yourself by illusion or truth? Where are you putting yourself first, and where are you thinking you're putting yourself first, but really aren't taking the actions? I really feel like that part of the conversation wants to come in to this part of the reading. Are you ready? Ooh, fun. Nice shuffle every time. So it's not like these are holding back. So again, the Five of Hearts comes in because that higher sense of self is emerging. This is how I read this card, right? There's change afoot. There's a chance to love yourself more. There's a chance to love change. Some of us don't love change. Hi, Candy Williamson. We just don't. We have a relationship with change that prevents us from embracing it. And so when we can look at some of those aspects as an observer, then we can get curious, what would it be like if I just loved this change right now for leading me to a new choice where that's going to bring in more of the play and the adventure that I'm wanting, right? Because both sides, the five represents change, but it also invites us into more play, excitement, adventure in our life. So as a relationship card, I really feel like for you, obviously, because you said putting myself first, this is about you. So this is your love and how it wants to change and how it's leading yourself through the numbers as self-love, the decision to love yourself, the amplification of loving yourself, really landing into a foundation of loving yourself, and then really being in this moment of change. You can't see, you can no longer not see what's right in front of you. You cannot pretend anymore that you don't know. So the five is saying, dive in. And when you do, you're going to experience yourself in that place in the physical where you led yourself to the next piece. So, accepting the change of what is, loving yourself more through it. And how can you love yourself 1% more today? By choosing to put yourself first. What feels like the next step in that you haven't been gifting yourself, where you've been denying yourself, and allow it to move you into leading your life in the physical. Taking the responsibility for saying, I want to put myself first, then putting yourself first 1.01% more today than yesterday, and see how it lands you in the physical. Looking back at, I chose to lead myself here, and therefore I did, and now I just do it again and again and again, and slowly create a new habit around what isn't currently that habit. So I'd love to know how that lands for you. And actually, what is it that you're wanting more of that falls into the category of putting yourself first? Today is that action day collectively. Not taking the action, you're going to find yourself Friday being accountable to what you said that you wanted, and maybe having different results, versus doing what you say that you want and experiencing yourself in the physical in a whole new way, where you chose to lead yourself and then you realize you can do it again. We take small steps every day, right? We have a bigger goal, but we take small steps. If we just kick the small steps under the rug and never honor ourselves for that, we feel like we're perpetuating around and getting nowhere. Sharon says, well, obviously, my friend, I love you so much. If you're wanting to put yourself first more than you are not putting yourself in the ways that you think that maybe you were deciding to. So this is a tricky place, and I want to just have us all just tune into this. We all say we want to do a certain thing, and I'm going to use me as an example. I want to work out more. I want to get back in shape. I want to do, this is what I've been saying to myself. And I know I've had injuries, and I know that I've got digestion. I have all these things, but the things don't stop me from taking the action. What I realized was I was taking the same actions that weren't producing the results that I wanted. So the decision is what's going to produce the result. We don't have the results we want because we're not willing to decide to take the next action. We're willing to decide we want it, but we're not all in actually moving forward. So when I went to a gym that I had resistance to going to another gym, but I went there and I talked with them and I learned what they were doing and how it was aligned, I hired a personal trainer, and now I'm being accountable to showing up Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. And I don't have to think, I just do, and I'm guided, right? And so now I'm having success because I don't have to figure out all the other things that I wasn't doing that weren't working. And I didn't have to rely only on my knowledge, which there was the gap, right? There was all that I knew and all that I didn't want to do. And then there was what I was doing and everything I didn't want to be doing. And now I just go and I do the things that are working my strength, my postural strength, my muscle strength, my aerobic strength, but they are not what I used to do. And I don't have to worry about it. It's the energy of that. So, where have you been not choosing that for yourself? And what 1.01 thing today can you do to really land into, I'm actually going to take the action? Because the result in the physical, when you lead yourself there, is going to be way different than what you've been perceiving that you can't or can do about it, or just not going to work for you, that kind of thing, right? So thank you. Sharon says, there's one thing that I can pick. Uh, there is one thing that I can pick to help today, and something more significant for tomorrow when I have the time I need. Sometimes I just get overwhelmed and don't do anything. So yes, and then I'm adding what I just said. You always have the time. Choose to make the time. 5 minutes. 5 minutes for both of you. 5 minutes. Set the timer. If you want to go bigger, 18 minutes. What feels good to commit to? It's something that you know you can do. Anybody can do 5 minutes. You can find 5 minutes, Sharon. Whatever that thing is, set your timer for 5 minutes and then allow yourself to actually do the thing. You'll be experiencing yourself on the other side of that way differently than pre-deciding you don't have the time. And then what are you going to do ruminating and overwhelmed in the meantime? Scroll social media? Like, where's the 5 minutes? Find it. Choose to find it and be it today. And a whole new world will open up in realization and perspective of, oh my God, I've been thinking I'm doing the thing, but I'm not doing the thing. And then overthinking I'm doing the thing has led to 5 minutes of overthinking versus stepping into it. right? So it's that beautiful energy of just being human and observing what is so you can land into where you've been living what was and then make a new choice and step into it. Stephanie says, I feel like I'm one solid foot in truth and one foot lingering in illusion. Well, that's the energy of today. So, of course, you're feeling that, right? I know the things I want to get done, and I've been cutting out the distractions and making some of them the steps. There's a piece that feels resistant to fully stepping forward. I'd love insight to help move through, see what I'm pretending to not see. So, you can simply ask yourself in that moment, what am I pretending to not tell myself? It's a really good question. You can journal on that one too. Hi, Haley. Um, but let's find out. And then you can take that same question and continue to land into that deeper truth. But I always believe we know, we just either don't feel safe to access it or we're relying on old knowledge versus helping the body help you understand what's next, right? So let's find out. Sharon, making the freaking decision. So that's going to be very big today. And if you should choose, so choose on this Mars energy, get stuff done, take the action day when it's all about decisions and being led by illusion or truth and actually taking the action. Imagine what's going to unfold. That one simple action, you might actually just figure out or find out that you can do it again and you could do it for 10 minutes and then commit to that. You're the one who decides. You're the one who chooses how you spend your time. The world doesn't choose for you. So it's such a beautiful realization. Hi, Lynn. Okay, so let's pull cards for Stephanie. And I've got about 9 more minutes. So if anyone else wants a reading, Lynn or Haley, as you join in, please just let me know what's top of mind for you today. So Haley does. Top of mind specificity is so good for this system because it's going to be direct and in the moment, and it will lead you back to you to help you empower a new decision. Stephanie, so the 6, really participating in the energy of giving without expectation. So if you're stuck in one foot and one in the truth and one in illusion, knowing what you want to get done, are you willing to participate in that energy with willingness to flow, with willingness to see what you haven't been able to see? So the 6 can sometimes be karmic, and I don't look at karmic like dun dun dun, it's the lesson that's here for you. And sometimes it's also the decision in moving forward, but the decision to include yourself in the participation, because you would be very first to include your kids and then get on it and be doing all the things. So I feel like this is asking you to notice that you're half in and half out, and that the way out of it is choosing to be all in. So what you want to get done, pick one thing, pick that decision, pick that one next thing that you need to do to get the thing done, and then choose to lean into you participating in it today, to making the time. So some of the same kind of energy coming into this reading as well. Where you feel resistant is the first place to start, because it's going to contain the biggest lesson. So really taking a piece of that, what is my one next step, and leaning into that resistance. Sometimes it's welcoming in the resistance and not running from it. The resistance, when you go through it, has what you want on the other side. So I've learned, and we all learn at different levels, but the resistance is the key. So start there and see where it takes you. Oh, sorry. And when you do, you have the foundation of the higher meaning in it. This is all an inner decision. This is internal energy that lands you into, will you give yourself permission? Will you allow yourself to stop denying yourself what you want and look at the places where you're giving it away to everyone and everything else, and pull it back into the foundation of getting it done, to find the higher meaning in it for you? Not the overall arching, like, oh, kind of meaning, but oh, this is part of my pattern. And this is where I can just embrace when it shows up, because now I know to lean into it. So let me know how that lands for you. That feels like you are picking up what I'm throwing down. Okay. Misa, small steps to loving myself more and relaunching my business to create the magical impact I desire, ultimately to have 2 days off each week from the barn and things I don't love or desire to do. So, yeah, there's a really big claiming or reclaiming energy in that. And then the energy of having either yourself or someone hold you accountable towards what you say you want. So you're not skittering backwards into someone else's version of that for you, but having the willingness to have the conversation, to claim the space, to mark your calendar, to say that it is, and not just be at the whim of how it's been is very big. And then what was really dropping in was, are you going to be here another year, end of the year, 6 months from now, in the same situation, wanting the same thing? Or is this the moment you're going to choose to actually get into action to live that dream for yourself? Right. So, not letting another year go by looking back, going, I wanted that to happen and I didn't get it done again. Right. This may be the time to really get that guidance, the support, ask for help. Um, Maybe not have it all figured out and let someone lead you there so you can see yourself there by being the one taking the steps and having someone hold that for you as you're going. Could be very possible. You pulled, what does this say? Oh my gosh, there's more. Okay. Thank you so much. This conversation has been really helpful to remember to take things one step at a time. That's the only way we get places, guys. I know our brains want us to go to 1,000 things at one time because we're multitaskers and we can handle it. But in having it all, we have to, one, decide what we want when we decide what all is. Second, give ourselves permission to have it. And third, redefine some of those permission slips and definitions because we can be operating off someone else's vision, not ours. So it's really important. Haley says, grief. I'm struggling with the loss of my younger sibling. I am so sorry for your loss on that and just holding love and space for you as you're going through this difficult time. I will pull cards for you. Um, Misa, I pulled Queen of Spades for yourself. So landing into not just the amplification from that three energy, but that next grander vision of where you've been burdening yourself versus where you can allow yourself to have it all. The Queen wants it all, right? So the inner mastery to allow yourself exactly what I said, to redefine your permission slips, create your boundaries, have the conversations, do the things to nurture yourself, you first. That's how you put yourself first. And then by you doing that, it amplifies the energy for others, releasing the burden. So now we're coming into a releasing of the burden, right? Stephanie says, I'm feeling that. My step today is laundry. I've been sharing my bed with loads of clean laundry. Oh, yeah. Dude, I hate that too. I know. Actually, I'll fold it and then it stays in the basket. Like, that's my least favorite thing. Anyone else? I'll clean the heck out of it. I don't like putting it away. I had sat on the couch after I got home from work to take a minute and found you immediately top on feed. So you're meant for this message today. Perfect. So when we're done, set your timer for 10 minutes and go get it done. Put music on, dance, have fun, just do it. 10 minutes from now, you'll be like, it's done. That kind of thing, right? Make it fun, redefine it. My illusion is the clutter in my environment. I make progress and then I get busy and the progress falls away, determined to get it done to create new peace. Perfect. So that's a pattern, right? And so the pattern is the outer world matches the inner world. You've had a cluttered mind. Great. You're working through the cluttered mind. Doesn't mean that there's still not something else for you to see in your physical environment. So then choose to set the timer. And it's not all today. Maybe it's a little bit every day, but set the timer first and then decide if you have another timer, another 10 minutes, another thing. Do you want to keep going? Right? Small chunks. Realizing that now you're noticing at the outer world when you've gained the wisdom from the inner world, or that a shift is arising. So maybe the fact that you're even noticing it in your outer world is time for you to become it, embody it now, right? Match, notice it's a signal that when growth is here and you're in the transmutation of it, you're in the implementation of it. These are the physical actions that can align your world and create more peace, right? Without you being the one to put it away, you're the one creating the chaos. You're amplifying the burden energy versus the peace and ease. So just curious for you to see that. It's just your pattern showing up in physical in one way in laundry, right? We all have patterns. We all have ways that we experience ourselves, which is why I love numerology to begin with, When we know the pattern, we're not at the whim of it. When we know the obstacle and the challenge, we can observe it continuously and go, oh, that, well, cool. Let me just work on that and see how I feel. Let me make space for that. What am I ignoring? What am I making more space for when I'm not nurturing myself here? Such a big conversation. So let's end today with Haley and talk about this grief and struggling with the loss, right? And first of all, Haley, like sometimes we want to push grief forward, and grief takes what it takes. Like the body knows what it needs. And if we're resisting allowing the tears, allowing the emotion, allowing the feeling, it can prolong it. But there's no right or wrong way to grief, and there's no right or wrong length of time. So I'd love to pull cards for you to maybe open some awareness and insight, or just so you can have that more nurturing love and patience during this time, and just knowing that, you know what, it's going to take what it takes, and just sending you so much love. I'm so sorry for that. Good conversation today, guys. So good. Okay, so for you, my friend Haley, thank you for being here, by the way. So, this seven is really inviting you. Again, we're talking about some of the physical attributes. You definitely know you're grieving. It's in your environment, it's in your body. Maybe it's affecting your work or your finances. But the seven's here to say, you know, trust in the truth that this has for you right now. This wisdom that wants to birth forth, that's coming from trusting you, trusting that you'll know when it's time, trusting that, you know, everyone else's need to, shoulds, or have tos on the timeline of grief don't apply here. This is for you to really land into this initiation, this invitation into your own value, knowing that you're going to trust yourself in what you need as you move through this. And you get to decide each step of the way what that's like for you as you get back into the groove of life, right? And when you do, you're really opening up to this expansion of love energy. So, really allowing yourself in the physical to just be with what is, because what is moving you into a deeper trust within you and a deeper truth in that this is a process that may take more than a minute, and landing into your community. Really, who are the people that are supporting you at this time, and who have been reflecting this love back for you as a mirror, and landing into the love of it, not the fear of it, because both can amplify. We can be in judgment with all the should, need tos, and have tos of our own lives, let alone everyone else's opinions. But that can lead to more worry and anxiety and fear, and not good enough, or it's been enough time, or what's wrong with me, right? Versus knowing that this is really revealing to you the important things in life. The millionaire's card is the seven. So the abundance that's already in your life that you can embrace, the truth of that, the trust that you're going to know exactly what you're wanting from this experience, because life is short and it's showing you what's really important to you right now, where you're maybe willing to take a few more leaps of faith than before to land into creating more of what you love, even if that's within yourself, even if it's connecting mind, body, spirit. So maybe you're on your own journey through this, and life has been an illusion, and now it's opening up yourself to a truth that there's more than what was, there's more than the mundane, there's more than just the everyday, everything, and life doesn't feel like it fits anymore. But the invitation is for you to really embrace this time. Give yourself what you want, receive what's here for you to receive, the love, the help, the support, the knowledge, the wisdom, and really let it land into an amplification of more of what you love from this point forward. So, always bringing it back to love versus fear, which is always empowerment in our decision making, right? And being willing to let go of what attachment to any way that life used to look, because it's not going to be the same moving forward. It can still be amazing and magnificent. It might take more time, but your your filter, the way you see the world now, has just expanded into a way that maybe you can't even explain. But all of it is intended for you as you move forward to live more of your own truth, So hopefully that lands for you and supports you and serves you today. Thank you guys for this beautiful conversation as we work through the matrix of the mind, the matrix of reality. And what a fun way to share in the curiosities and the wisdom that's already within all of us. That when we come together, we can share in collective energy because we're coming from this unity consciousness, this place of love and grace and compassion for ourselves and each other. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I appreciate you all. Thank you for the support, the love, and the conversation. And I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.